תגיד לי כמה להעלות. רגע, אני לא יודעת איך לעשות את זה. לא, אני מוכרחה...
Could this truly be the first step toward peace? On July 8th, U.S. President Donald Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as Trump intensified pressure on the Israeli leader to reach an agreement to end the crisis related to the Gaza conflict. This was the second meeting between the two leaders in the past 24 hours. In his speech to the U.S. Congress, Netanyahu praised the cooperation between the two countries, calling it an unprecedentedly close relationship in history.
These are momentous days, but they're also touched by tragedy. We lost 5 of our brave soldiers in Gaza. The people of America, of Texas, have profoundly lost their colleagues. We stand with the people of Texas and the people of America as the people of America stand with us. We send our condolences to the bereaved families. I said these are momentous times, and they are. The President and I believe in a doctrine called peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes the peace. Our resolute action, the resolute decision of President Trump to act with us against those who seek to destroy Israel and threaten the peace of the world has made a remarkable change in the Middle East. The remarkable American B-2 pilots showed remarkable perseverance, persistence, and power. The soldiers of Israel fought like lions, our pilots struck like lightning, and our common alliance roared like thunder. And this is having a great change in our region. There are opportunities for peace that we intend to realize. We're working together on this. We have still to finish the job in Gaza, release all our hostages, eliminate and destroy Hamas's military and governance capabilities, because Gaza must have a different future for our sake, for everyone's sake. And no country will settle for less. We certainly will not. These are all things that I discussed with President Trump. I may discuss further with him later in this visit. But I have to say that the coordination between our two countries, the coordination between an American president and an Israeli prime minister has been unmatched. It offers great promise for Israel, for America, for our region, and for the world.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, should we expect an announcement regarding the ceasefire and the hostage releasing?
Well, we're certainly working on it. I can't speak in advance. You need several parties to tango. It's not even 2 here. But we're working on it diligently as we speak. In fact, on the way over here and on the way from here. We're not going to let up. We have a goal. We intend to achieve that goal. We accepted a proposal that came from the mediators. It's a good proposal. It matches Steve Witkoff's original idea. And we think that we've gotten closer to it, and I hope we can cross the line. That is our purpose. But I think the less I speak about it publicly, the more likely that we might get it.
Right now in the negotiations?
Look, I think the important thing is to get the result. We'll talk about the process later. I have a lot to say about it. But right now, I'm totally focused on the result, as is President Trump. And we're working together. It's very important to understand that. We're working together because we have learned, and the whole world has learned, that when Israel and America stand together, great things happen. And it's never been like that. In the entire history, almost 80 years, we're 77 years now. In the entire 77 years of Israel's history, there has never been the degree of coordination, of cooperation, and trust between America and Israel as we have today. And I credit President Trump with this extraordinary achievement. I think there's been a concerted effort to spread vilifications and demonization against Israel in the social media. It's directed, it's funded, it is malignant, and we intend to fight it because nothing defeats lies like the truth, and we shall spread the truth for everyone to see. Once people are exposed to the facts, we win, hands down. That's what we intend to do in the coming months and years.
Speaking to the press about his meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister, President Trump described the situation in Gaza as a tragedy, while affirming that both he and Prime Minister Netanyahu desire a solution. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu returned to the White House to continue negotiations with the U.S. president after Qatar announced on July 8 that indirect talks between Israel and Hamas in Doha still require more time to achieve a breakthrough. Qatar, alongside the U.S. and Egypt, is acting as a mediator, with meetings in Doha focusing on establishing a negotiation framework. However, a Palestinian official involved in the process stated that no breakthrough has been achieved so far. Speaking to reporters, both leaders expressed optimism that success in Iran marks a new era in the Middle East. Trump also expressed hope that the U.S. would not have to attack Iran again, hinting that Washington had scheduled negotiations with Tehran when it deemed Tehran had similar intentions. Notably, President Trump left open the possibility of lifting sanctions on Iran at an appropriate time.
One of the things we have with Iran is, we have they are very biting sanctions. And I would love to be able to, at the right time, take those sanctions off, give them a chance at rebuilding, because I'd like to see Iran build itself back up in a peaceful manner and not going around saying death to America, death to the USA, death to Israel, as they were doing. They were the bully of the Middle East, and now they're not the bully anymore. But they were saying terrible things, and would like to see them. They have such potential. They have the oil power, and they have great people, smart people, energetic people, amazing. And I know so many Iranians from New York. I have a lot of friends, and they're great people. We have scheduled Iran talks, and they want to talk. They took a big drubbing, I think, when we hit the three sites. Really, I would say the three sites, not just the one. The one was a big one, and it was deep in granite, and it was obliterated. It turned out the Atomic Energy Commission said it is obliterated. I would just want to take our hats off to those incredible flyers, the people that flew that big machine, and frankly, the mechanics and everybody else. I mean, they had zero. They flew for 37 hours with zero problem mechanically. I mean, when you think in carrying the biggest bombs ever, the biggest bombs that we've ever dropped on anybody, when you think non-nuclear, and we want to keep it non-nuclear, by the way. But they did a phenomenal job. It was an amazing job. And
say what might make you have the desire to do another strike on Iran?
Another what?
Another strike on Iran.
I hope we're not going to have to do that. I can't imagine wanting to do that. I can't imagine them wanting to do it. They want to meet. They want to meet. They want to work something out.
Can you say
No,
that?
they're very different now than they were 2 weeks ago.
In your view, is the war between Israel and Iran over? Or do those talks need to happen before you can?
Well, I would say that the best man to answer that is the Prime Minister. But I will tell you that in my view, I hope it's over. Yeah, I think Iran wants to meet. I think they want to make peace, and I'm all for it. Now, if that's not the case, we are ready, willing, and able. But I don't think we're going to have to be. But I think Bibi would answer that question very well.
Place and give people a free choice. We're working with the United States.
Before the visit, Prime Minister Netanyahu confirmed that Israeli officials are pushing for a Gaza agreement mediated by the U.S. in indirect negotiations with the Palestinian Islamic armed group Hamas in Qatar. Currently, some hardline partners in Israel's ruling coalition oppose halting military operations, but with Israelis growing increasingly wary of the war in Gaza, Netanyahu's government is expected to support a ceasefire if acceptable terms can be secured. According to the proposed 60-day ceasefire aimed at ending the 21-month conflict in Gaza, Hamas is required to release 10 living hostages and return the bodies of 18 deceased hostages in 5 phases. In return, Israel must release an unspecified number of Palestinian prisoners and withdraw from Gaza. However, a Palestinian official familiar with the situation stated that the latest meeting in Qatar concluded without any breakthrough. According to analysts, one of the main obstacles currently is the issue of aid in Gaza, as Hamas seeks to end the operations of the U.S. and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Fund, while Tel Aviv refuses to discuss this matter. Additionally, Hamas demands an end to the war before releasing the remaining hostages. For its part, Israel has made it clear that it will not agree to a ceasefire until all hostages are released and Hamas is dismantled. The meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is opening new opportunities for a significant agreement on Gaza amid ongoing instability in the Middle East. Although no clear breakthrough has been achieved, optimistic statements from both sides indicate they are striving to find a genuine solution to the prolonged conflict.